Have you ever woken up, deep divers, and have this moment of clarity that everything you think you know is up for questioning? Like everything. Did they really go to the moon? I don't even know about that. Like, why is the world like this, Ralph? Like, this seems like one massive joke. Yeah, that moment is usually your awakening. Welcome home, deep divers. Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are out here in the mysterious art gallery. We're just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I'm sending you tons of good ass energy. Take that, take that, take that. Now, are you going through a massive transformation right now? A massive awakening right now? Are you going crazy? No, you're not. You're just waking up. 10 signs, oh baby. You're one of the awakened ones. Right now, deep divers, I'm looking at my inbox and the amount of people who are sending me messages about their awakening, like, Ralph, everything has changed for me. Like, I'm awakening to this matrix and I'm freeing myself and I've never ever felt better before. Have you felt as good as a cat down the road? That's the question. Think about it. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? So wonderful, deep divers. Let me share with you what's helped me along my journey. 10 signs you're one of the awakened ones. Now, an awakened one is a being who has awareness that they aren't just this physical body. They are a multidimensional being inhabiting this physical body. You see, from school, you have been told something which isn't true. You've been told that you are just a person, but a person is actually a persona, which means a mask. So it's not the real you. Slow motion this side. Now, deep divers, before we dive into it, I'll do a whole video on this, but I've spoken before about the 4 levels of consciousness. And in this 3D matrix, this hologram, you are going to come across the 4 levels of consciousness. You're going to see it all around you and also within yourself. So the first level of consciousness, which is awareness, is the drone archetype. And this is what we are all born into. This is the person who just accepts authority, never questions their reality, goes along to get along, and just like a drone is controlled by someone else, i.e. the television, which is telling lies to your vision. And then you have the artist, okay? The artist is the one who is singing about their experience on planet Earth. They are expressing themselves, and that's another level of consciousness or awareness. And then you have the alchemist, who is turning the worst experience into the best experience, and that's another level of consciousness. And then you have the wizard, who has been all 3 of those. And the wizard is all about fusing the left brain and the right brain hemispheres together. And now they are in the completion process. Slow motion this side. They have the perfect balance of logic and creativity. Now, the first sign you're one of the awakened ones, deep divers, is this: isolation. When we talk of awakening, as we are approaching the age of Aquarius, where the hidden is coming to light, you're starting to realize, wait a minute, everything I learned at school was a big fat lie. They're lying to you every single day. Now, a lot of people, and this is from the people I've spoken to, but also my own experience, deep divers, it can be real lonely in the beginning stages of your massive awakening, because nobody is around to massage your back or your toes, right? You're on your own. That's what you think, right? Because you're like, I don't feel accepted anywhere. I don't feel accepted anywhere. I don't fit into this society. Like, I feel like a fringe dweller, an outcast, an outlaw. And this is a sign you're one of the awakened ones. When you don't feel like you belong to this world, this matrix, when you feel like an alien. Like, I felt like that my entire life, deep divers. I knew from a young age, I just came back for the mango juice, right? But I knew that something fishy was going on planet Earth. Like, and I had this period of isolation. Where I'm like, okay, like, people are around me, but I feel like nobody gets me. And this is a sign you're one of the awakened ones, because a lot of people are awakening at a very young age. And what their peers are talking about, they're like, we don't really vibe, right? But the beautiful thing happens as you continue your awakening journey. You start to realize, wait a minute, your soul family has been waiting for you there, and everywhere. And it feels so good to be back home, baby. What's the second sign you're one of the awakened ones? You are ahead of your time. You're 18, but you feel like you're 40 because you have that amount of wisdom at a young age. Matter of fact, when you were 13, you felt like you were 100 years old because you had that much wisdom. Yeah, everybody came to you for advice, I know. Tell me about it, right? You see, this was me, deep divers, and this is a sign you are one of the awakened ones. You are ahead of your time. Nikola Tesla was one of the awakened ones. He was ahead of his time. Dr. Sebi was one of the awakened ones. He was ahead of his time. Anytime you are doing what hasn't been done before, you are thinking differently from the rest of the 7 billion people on the planet. You are breaking free of ideology, dogma, and you are becoming free within yourself. You are one of the awakened ones. And for me, when I was in school, deep divers, I was already awake. And it's a whole process, awakening, right? ING. But I already knew what was up. Like, hey, this is all a stage. And most people are just actors, right? Including the cat down the road. I could remember my past life. Like, wait a minute. I didn't come here to live in a concrete jungle. I'm a nature boy. I'm a nature man, right? It goes back to ancient Egypt. That's where I remember myself being, in ancient Egypt, right? And when I would be talking to people, I would literally have to dumb down my consciousness level to meet their needs. And that's a sign you're one of the awakened ones. But as time goes on, you're like, actually, I don't want to do that. If you can't talk about the fifth dimension with me, well, we're not going to be friends right now. We can be friends, but you go that way and I'll go that way, right? You no longer have to tolerate other people's chit chatter if it's not serving you. And that's the beauty of life. Deep divers, what's the third sign? Oh, baby, you're one of the awakened ones. You have this peace that nobody understands. Like, how did you get it? Where did you buy it? How can I have it as well? Like, people don't know how you're so calm, how you're so full of serenity. Like, what kind of cream do you use? What kind of cream do you use? Like, what do you wash with? Like, what kind of pillows do you have? They're trying to find out how come you emit so much peace and tranquility everywhere you go. People just want to be around you. That's a sign you're one of the awakened ones, because you are shining in the light. What happens? Moths are always attracted to the light. Slow motion this side. Anytime You don't need material possessions to be happy, to give you a sense of self-worth, because you're like, wait a minute, I'm already wealthy in the inner kingdom. And that's why you're so chilled. Like everyone else is busting their ass trying to make it, and you're like, I already made it. That's a sign you're one of the awakened ones, because you're just chilling, baby. What's the fourth sign? You're one of the awakened ones. You're one of the awakened ones, deep divers, derealization, which is all about when you're like, oh my gosh, is this real? What is real, right? Like when you are removed, derealization from reality, this 3D matrix reality, which is artificial, that's a sign you're one of the awakened ones. Like I remember, deep divers, when I had my first awakening. When I had my first massive awakening back in 2006, I walked around the city and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is this place? Derealization. Everybody was looking at me strange. I was looking at them strange. I'm like, is this The Sims or what, right? A lot of people are having derealization. They're like, oh, I can't believe this place. Like, because that's what happens when you're one of the awakened ones. You start to wake up to start to see what we have created in this concrete jungle, because our true home is nature. Our true home is an environment which has a beautiful feng shui, the water and the wind, one that is soothing to the soul, not one that puts someone in stress, right? Deep divers, what's the fifth sign? You're one of the highly awakened ones. Now, if you have come to the realization, and this is how I knew, deep divers, that you can be in the world, but not of the world, you are one of the awakened ones. Like, I know, deep divers, I'm not from this planet. This 3D matrix. I am an infinite being. Everywhere is my home in the universe. I'm a galactic being, right? A lot of people subject themselves to a country. I am British. I am Ethiopian. I am American. This is how the matrix enslaves you, because once again, you are putting yourself in a category, putting yourself in a box. I am this color. I am that color. When you are awakened, you start to realize that colors don't even exist in other dimensions. Slow motion this side. Why? Because everything is just pure energy. There is no separation. That's the ego. And if you are coming to the realization that you can be in this world, but not of this world, that's a sign you're one of the highly awakened ones. Deep divers, what's the sixth sign? You're one of the awakened ones. You're one of the awakened ones. Deep divers, 7-day vegan challenge. You have had to let go of your favorite foods. That's right. Your favorite foods in this matrix, like pizza, French fries, hot dogs, butter, all of that stuff. The cat down the road also used to love, but even the cat down the road had to give it up, because it's like, hey, I gotta eat to live right now. That's a sign, deep divers, you're one of the awakened ones. When you are letting go of your favorite foods, or your former favorite foods, right, in the matrix, just to say, actually, it's time to eat to live. Pass me the kale. Let me get that protein. Anytime you're like, hey, I'm only going to eat this if it promotes life within me, you're one of the awakened ones, because food is information. Anytime you are eating, you are downloading information to your subconscious mind. Slow motion this side. Deep divers, what's the seventh sign? Oh, baby, you're one of the awakened ones. You have a burning desire to help other people wake up. You have a burning desire to free other people from the matrix. And you want to open their eyes to the truth that we are so much more than we have been told by the matrix. And because of this, that's why a lot of awakened souls, it's not easy, because like you want to just shake everybody in the street and say, hey, look. And they're like, can you please stop shaking me? And you're like, okay, I got to stop doing that, right? But as you go on, and this is what happened for me, like I'm not into converting anybody into anything because I already know my truth. I'm just putting these videos out there. If it resonates with you, fantastic. If not, well, it can't be helped. And that's what happens when you are awakened. You develop this maturity where at first you had a burning desire just to free other people, and you still do, but now you're like, hey, I'm just going to be a lighthouse, and when people are lost at sea, they'll see me and find their way home and meet the cat down the road. Deep divers, what's the 8th sign you're one of the awakened ones? At times you think you're going crazy. Oh my gosh, am I going crazy? But in actuality, you're just waking up. And a lot of awakened souls may be put on medication. They may even be labeled crazy, acute psychosis, right? All of these labels from the matrix, ADHD, autism, all of these labels will be thrown on you as an awakened one, as one of the chosen ones. Why? Because reality fears what it doesn't understand. Oh, baby. But as time goes on, you start to realize that actually, like the great Krishnamurti said, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. This society is sick and it needs help, right? And you start to realize, wait a minute, I am not crazy. I'm just waking up. I am not crazy. I'm just thinking for myself. And that is so liberating. Deep divers, what's the 9th sign you're one of the awakened ones? You can see everything so clearly, like everything real clear. Your third eye or your first eye is opened. You can see things before they happen. You can feel things before they happen. You can read in between the lines to say, actually, wait a minute, this is all theater. On the world stage, like, there is another story which you aren't being told about planet Earth. We are in spiritual warfare right now. And that's a sign you're one of the awakened ones. When you are starting to open your first eye, some people call it the third eye, to realize that there is a world beyond this one, because we are seeing less than 1% on the electromagnetic spectrum. On the electromagnetic spectrum, which is visible light. We are practically blind in the universe. And that is humbling. Deep divers, what is the 10th sign you're one of the awakened ones? You're learning how to do a little samba, baby. Right? You're learning how to not be so serious all the time, because you realize this is all a cosmic dance. And you are learning every single day, just as I am, to dance between worlds, right? You learn how to dance in your own world, and you learn how to dance in the illusion world. And then you're like, actually, it's more fun just dancing in my own world. That's a sign you're awake. When you realize there is no world out there, the only true world is the world inside of yourself. Because how you see the world is what is creating your reality, which is different from mine. You are the architect of everything in existence. Oh my gosh, Ralph. Yes, it's kind of amazing, right? When you realize that your thoughts are creating everything in your existence. So that's a sign you're one of the awakened ones. When you realize, wait a minute, I have the power. I am the student and the master. I am the work in progress, and the masterpiece at the same time. And deep divers, once you realize this, oh baby, you'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Beautiful deep divers were just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Shout out to everybody who's been getting the amazing good ass prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes. Got a question, deep divers? Add me on Instagram at Infinite Waters. And if you are a sexy model, woo, with a lot of heart, DM me on Instagram at Infinite Waters. Check out the new book, Deep Divers, for more information like this. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon. Have a beautiful day, deep divers. Being free, like you came here to be. Peace. Infinite Waters, diving deep. Once again, stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You start doing that uncontrollably. Why? Because it feels so good to be alive, baby. Peace.